social issue that is being shown in this poster is the people's lack of self-awareness, as it aims to conscientize the Oceanian proletariat about its power to overthrow the party. In Chapter 7, Part 1, Emmanuel Goldstein emphasizes on the Oceanian proletariat's potential to overthrow the governing party, and to introduce this argument, he delivers the line shown in the poster, which is, "If there is hope, it lies in the proles." And he also thinks that it is the country's last hope of breaking free, as it is a social class that makes up most of the Oceanian country's population. Also, conveniently enough, proletariats are unlinked to the inner party, meaning that they do not belong in there and they're just ruled by them. And he also claims that this party could not be overthrown from within, which implies that only an external force could do that. And the proletariat is the only unrelated force big enough to topple the oppressive government by only, quote, rising up and shaking themselves like a horse shakes off flies. This piece of propaganda seeks to raise awareness about this idea among the proletariat, and it aims to potentially start a successful revolution to throw them off. In this case, Goldstein's quote is in big, bold, clean capital letters in a color that stands out from the bright red, and this particular boldness makes the message much more noticeable and straightforward, especially for the audience that it is intended to. And the keywords hope and proles are also bigger, catching the viewer's attention right away and ingraining a simple message into their head. In this case, the message that proletarians are the country's last hope. As for Orwell's authorial choices, the "if" at the beginning indicates a slight tone of hopelessness for the oppressed proletariat. And here, once again, his real-life libertarian trait shows through, as he is explicitly expressing his concern that oppressed people have no way out of their authoritarian oligarchies. He might also have used the term proles instead of proletarians in an attempt to clear that term from the underestimation that it is often subject to. By using the mock name that is commonly used for the masses of low resources and indicating that they're powerful enough to overthrow authoritarian institutions, it is as if he, through the book, was challenging those readers who actually think they have some unmeasured authority over the masses. And correspondingly, he might also have wanted to empower those readers who are actually oppressed by tampering with the offensive name that they have been labeled with, and instead making it seem as a label of those who are powerful enough to free themselves. As for the images, the poster shows a large group of people which represents the proletariat, and they're blinding a Big Brother poster as blood tears come out of his eyes. Blindfolding Big Brother, making him unable to see the citizens' every move, symbolizes the party's power being taken away from them, thus taking away from them the right to control their citizens and keeping them under constant threat. Also, the bloody tears in Big Brother's eyes indicate the huge pain that it would have been for the inner party to lose its power. Also, the cracks in the background wall represent the action of breaking out of the brick wall that is the oppressive system. And also the two proles holding up the blindfold together and the rest of the people holding them up for the purpose of blinding Big Brother symbolizes teamwork, and it also conveys the idea that Goldstein wanted to convince the people of that there is force in union and that together the proletariat could have overthrown the oppression. Similar propaganda in real life has been made where the masses unite to free themselves from these kinds of situations. This is almost a universal concept where anyone can come together to defend an idea that they believe in, and if it is viable, it will eventually come true. As for the colors, the poster is mainly in black and red. The black indicates the commonness of the masses, yet when this commonness comes together, they are able to shake off a higher power that has been restlessly brainwashing them and taking control of their lives. On the other hand, the red color in political propaganda, it is usually used for libertarian party ideals, and in this case, the resistance is libertarian, as it intends to break free from an extreme conservatorship that is the government. Correspondingly, red indicates the passion and vigor that it takes to displace said higher power, and rather than appearing menacing, it motivates the people to let out that anger and that frustration that they might have in them, caused by the government puppeting them. And if they're unaware of their puppet state, the brightness and loud nature of the red color invites those unaware of their puppet state to wake up and think about how monotonous and supervised their lives have been at the expense of a government that wants to play God.
Main idea. In Emmanuel Goldstein's book, first chapter, as he discusses political theory and the model of Oceania, he explains Big Brother's role and purpose in the Oceania state. He says that from doctrine of the party, every victory, every success, all happiness are thanks to his leadership. The following state of propaganda seeks to get across the message that all of Oceania's positive attributes, which have been manipulated to make citizens believe that they are fully existent and unquestionable, are thanks to Big Brother's leadership and guidance. This, of course, is a friendlier and more docile way to imply that the country is better off with government's full control and manipulation. The idea does not seem like that to the viewer. However, because this protection is attributed to a symbol, that seems much more caring and less menacing as Big Brother, a big all-seeing brother figure that supposedly cares about you and whose guidance protects you from falling to the wrong path. The slogan's font is clear and easy to read, but not as bold and aggressive as the previous poster shows, making the message much more peaceful and light-hearted. The message is originally written in the book like this, straightforward and cheerful. The term happiness is used very loosely by the author. As for authorial choices in this excerpt, Goldstein links the concept of happiness directly to the inner party's ideas or the inner party's ideal order, implying the government's brainwashing to their citizens, making them think that their ruthless ruling is actually them trying to have a happy country. Through this argument, which is obviously contrarian to the Oceanian government, Orwell's democratic socialism inclination shines through. Goldstein uses the term happiness to refer to real-life oppressive governments and shameless attempts to manipulate their citizens into following their doctrine, getting to them through pathos, wanting them to believe that happiness is purely in the rule just to get people to give in. The poster shows Big Brother in a kind and loving light, with a subtle smile that generates comfort and friendliness. In the Oceanian citizen, his expressions is not that of menacing authority, watching over you as if you were some sketchy prisoner, but rather that of a person who watches you over because they truly want your well-being. The big corny heart on his chest that several ruthless politicians have used in real life is an evident attempt of government to keep up the regular brainwashing of people into seeing Big Brother as a caring figure and not as an oppressive authority that someday they would have to overthrow. Colors. The poster is mainly white, a color which is famously known for indicating peace and serenity. According to propaganda theory, there is gray, black and white propaganda. White propaganda, meant figuratively, is supposedly that which is sincere and does not hide its origin. Black propaganda, on the contrary, is that which is untruthful. The literal use of the color white in this poster intends to hide the government's brainwashing intentions and make it seem as an actual piece of white propaganda. The cleanliness of the poster makes it easy on the eyes and provides a special focus on other elements such as the slogan and the image of the loving Big Brother. The outstanding red of Big Brother's heart represents the party's goal to blind the citizens from their more macabre intentions, making it appear as if Big Brother's job is only to watch over them to protect them, when in reality it is just a cover-up for the systematic manipulation.